Great haircut. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in Billings Heights. And proud sponsors and supporters of the 2016 Billings Wolves. It's Jim and Austin's Barbershop. My good friend Mark Wotan at Rimrock Flooring has his spring sale going on right now over there off of Central Avenue. Rimrock Flooring, MT.com. Smart Strand Forever Clean, the world's toughest carpet. Check it out in the showroom of Rimrock Flooring, 10 to 60% off. Their one-year anniversary sale going on right now as they're into the second year of business. And is also their spring sale at Rimrock Flooring. Best Coupon Magazine, truly in and around Billings, with an issue for different areas around Billings. Coupons that fit where you live. Hometown Values Savings Magazine. If you check your mail from time to time, you'll see it. It's going to show up in your mailbox. Hometown Values Savings Magazine. Check out the new Heights edition. Also the newest Billings Laurel edition is out as well. Hometown Values with practical couponing in the magazine. Hometown Values.
Livin Large Larry live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry live.
Our What's Going On Around Town segment from Bighorn Inspection, Petrochemical and Refinery Inspection. Always supporting community events is Bighorn Inspection. Log on to the website, bighorninspection.com. The Mustache Dolls Junior Roller Derby, their bake sale and fundraiser is coming up on the 19th. This coming Saturday, March 19th. And you're invited to help them out at Lucky's Market on Grand Avenue, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the Mustache Dolls. The Billings Public Library is hosting free computer classes for older adults. Tech for Older Adults is the program. Facebook 101. That'll take place coming up on Friday the 18th and also April 29th at 3:30 to 5 in the second floor computer classroom of the Billings Public Library downtown. You can call 657-8255 if you want to reserve your spot. Again, that the first class is coming up this Friday, March 18th. And also through the Billings Public Library, they're hosting a retirement planning program for adults and older adults on the 1st of April. The program will be held in the Billings Public Library Community Room from 3:30 to 5. The presentation is free and open to the public. Contact the Billings Public Library, downtown Billings, for details. Again, our What's Going On segment is courtesy of Bighorn Inspection, bighorninspection.com. On March 19th, coming up Saturday, the Corrette Power Plant Site Design Meeting will be held in the First Congregational Church Fellowship Hall from 2 to 5 on Saturday. The goal is to create a community vision for the former Corrette Power Plant site. Your chance to give ideas on what should happen to that site. Those taking on the campaign want to have influence on what happens with the vacant sites. And Captain Chelsea Sully Sullenberger will be the guest speaker. The Chamber Breakfast coming up on Thursday, March 31st, 7 to 9 in the morning at Metro Park. Tickets are $450 for a table of 10 on the arena floor there with a breakfast buffet. Billings Chamber says tables are sold out, but you can be put on a waiting list. And to add your name to the mailing list, you can call the Billings Chamber at 245-4111. There's also stadium seating available right now for $30 a piece with a bagged breakfast. Again, the Chamber Breakfast, the annual event, Thursday, March 31st with Captain Chelsea Sully Sullenberger. We'll be visiting Billings, Montana. And the What's Happening segments from Bighorn Inspection, Petrochemical and Refinery Inspection, bighorninspection.com. And don't forget the she-wolf.
I want you to know that I don't need a thing to me.
Keystone Mortgage has moved to a much larger location. Keystone Mortgage is our underwriter for our replay of the show, our podcast, Keystone Mortgage, purchase, refinance, investment properties, second home, anything dealing with mortgages. You aren't just a number, you're our number one priority. And that slogan fits. Keystone Mortgage Company, Keystone Mortgage, KeystoneHomeLoans.com. They are locally owned and operated, and you can search them out on Facebook. Just type in the keyword, the Keystone. Livin Large Larry Live, livinlargelarry.com on YouTube. That'll become the podcast. Also, you can catch the show whenever you want through our TuneIn mobile phone app. That's for smartphones. It's a free download for you, too. We use TuneIn, and it's all accessible at our website, livinlargelarry.com. All kinds of blinds and billings, all kinds of blinds, mt.com. Quickie weather, blustery, just like Wednesday and Tuesday. Things shape up for the weekend. Complete forecast on the way.
Livin Large Larry Live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin Large Larry Live.
Got a bunch to do and very little time to do it. Stopped into N2 Cryotherapy, talked to Cindy Graff the other day and had a nice talk about her sponsoring the MMA fights coming up. Bighorn Resort on Majestic Lane in Billings this coming Saturday night. And also had a talk with one of Cindy Graff's N2 Cryotherapy clients. That would be Mikey Maniac Zindler. He's 17. He goes to N2 Cryotherapy 4 or 5 times a week, and he is 6-0. He's 6-0 in MMA, looking for his 7th victory. So I'll have a talk with Maniac, Mikey Maniac Zindler, and Cindy Graff from N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West. That is coming up for you. Our Billings area forecast from Broughton Construction and Home Repair, truly local, born and raised here in South Central Montana, and the Broughton family's been around for a long time repairing homes and doing construction. Broughton Construction and Home Repair, Braton. Today, a day like yesterday, pretty much. Kind of blustery, maybe a mixture of some rain and snow at times and windy conditions, and only in the 40s for the rest of the week. And the weekend changes up nicely. First weekend of spring. Spring officially hits actually on Sunday. 52 on Saturday, 64 on Sunday. So for the parade in downtown Billings, for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, the St. Patrick's Parade and Celtic Fair for families, downtown Billings on Saturday should be pretty nice. Our forecast from Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors, 1925 Grand Avenue at montanaproperty.com. Jade is trustworthy. You always put your clients' needs first, and she'll get you what you need. She'll pay attention to the details, too. Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors, montanaproperty.com. It is remodeling time in your home or your office, and the windows are the most aesthetically pleasing area people look. The most important part of your home are your windows and your window treatments. All kinds of blinds and billings, all kinds of blindsmt.com with cellular blinds. The woven woods are available. Mini blinds of all sizes and styles and models. Talk to Bobby Gray at All Kinds of Blinds and ask about their security window film as well. All kinds of blinds and billings. All kinds of blindsmt.com. Have quite a batch of news to get to in a second here. The Billings Morning News on the way at livinlargelarry.com. The promise to you from Brown's Automotive, with over 60 years of being in Billings, is communication and trust and experience for all facets of automotive specialists. Tune-ups, tire and alignments, transmission specialists, complete auto repairs. It is their family-owned business. Brown's Automotive at Broadwater, Brown's West Auto Service, corner of Rosebud and 20th, a couple of locations downtown, Automatic Transmission Company through Brown's at 13th Street North and 1st Avenue North, and Brown's Rebuild Center as well, downtown at 18th Street North and 2nd Avenue North. For over 60 years, rely on Brown's Automotive, BrownsAutoBillings.com.
Livin Large Larry Live.
All kinds of blinds and billings, all kinds of blindsmt.com late in the week, and maybe a mixture of some rain and snow early on, and then we should see plenty of sunshine as well. Our complete Billings, Montana forecast is coming up. Expanded look at livinlargelarry.com. The Billings Morning News at livinlargelarry.com. One of Montana's gubernatorial candidates calls on a famous friend to help with this campaign as we utilize color8.com for the story, and we glean stories from ktvq.com and the Billings Gazette. But actor, producer, and singer Jeff Bridges played a campaign fundraiser Tuesday at the Wilma Theater in Missoula for Governor Steve Bullock. Governor Bullock met Bridges a couple of years ago while raising awareness for childhood hunger here in Montana. Bullock and Bridges, they spoke to the crowd before the show and started with Bridges mentioning his Montana roots. The Billings father who admitted he did nothing to intervene in his girlfriend's deadly assault on their child was sentenced on Tuesday. Jeffrey Fox, he's 32. He was sentenced in Yellowstone County District Court by Judge Michael Moses to 18 years in prison with credit for 538 days already served. None of the time was suspended. Fox pleaded guilty in August of 2014 to negligent homicide for the death of his 3-month-old daughter, Rosanna. The child was neglected and abused to death by her mother, 25-year-old Amanda Steffen, and Fox admitted he did nothing to stop Steffen. And officials say a Billings man who was struck by a pickup truck last week has died from his injuries. A report says that 83-year-old Ramon Ortiz died on Friday, 3 days after the crash. Ortiz had been crossing the street outside of a crosswalk when he was hit by the truck making a turn. And Carbon County Sheriff deputies who shot and killed John Graham March 7th have been identified as Jeremy Neibauer and Chad Glick. Graham was shot and killed outside of a Joliet residence after firing a large caliber rifle in their direction. The Montana Division of Criminal Investigation is handling the case. And the Billings Morning News at livinlargelarry.com. Early data from states suggests pedestrian safety is a growing national problem. The preliminary data find that pedestrian deaths surged by an estimated 10% last year as the economy improved. The price of gas plunged and motorists put more miles behind the wheel than ever before. Report says the growing use of cell phones, distracting drivers, and walkers may also be partially to blame. Health considerations may also be encouraging people to walk more. A report released by the Governor's Highway Safety Association analyzed data from the first half of 2015. There were about 2,300 pedestrians killed compared to 2,200 during the same period in 2014. Tuesday, Representative Ryan Zinke said he expects the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to abort a year-long environmental study of Gateway Pacific Terminal and reject the project crucial for exporting Crow Nation coal, as Washington's Lumi Nation requested in January. The proposed terminal would be located in Bellingham, Washington, in the traditional fishing waters of Lumi Nation, an American Indian tribe. Red Lodge Mountain will close for the 2015-2016 season Sunday, March 27th, a week earlier than originally scheduled. The warm temperatures through February and March, along with the natural snowfall being less than a third of what the area typically gets, is the reason why. The good news is there's enough beer in Montana for St. Patrick's Day on Thursday. At last count, there were 60 craft breweries operating in the state of Montana. Findings of the Bureau of Business and Economic Research at the University of Montana show that number. In 2013, only 40 active Montana brewers had 486 employees and a payroll of $9.5 million, and their expenditures across Montana amounted to $22.5 million. The Billings Police Department released its numbers and statistics Tuesday. The nearly 50-page report offers insights into a growing city and the police department's work, despite being understaffed by as much as 10%. The Billings Police Department. A trial's underway in the case of a 74-year-old Ballantine man charged with shooting his son to death during an argument last summer. James Sindelar was charged with deliberate homicide after 35-year-old Wesley Sindelar died of a gunshot wound to the face. During opening statements on Monday, defense attorney Chris Kompenhaver told jurors the gun accidentally discharged and Wesley Sindelar's death was a tragic accident. Report says that Victoria Sindelar testified that James Sindelar came into their house on July 20th and her husband told him to leave at least 3 times, eventually sticking a finger in his father's face. That trial continues. Environmental groups have sued federal officials over plans that would allow oil, gas, and coal development in the Powder River Basin of Montana and Wyoming. A lawsuit against the Bureau of Land Management targets plans approved in September as part of efforts to protect greater sage grouse. The Bureau of Land Management spokesman said the agency does not comment on pending litigation. Montana officials say the transition period before severe medical marijuana restrictions go into effect should last no more than 49 days. Officials say they oppose a request to delay the restrictions until after the 2017 legislative session. A state law limits marijuana providers to selling the drug to no more than 3 patients each, which will likely force the closure of large dispensaries. And that is the Billings Morning News at livinlargelarry.com. As part of our Billings Morning News at livinlargelarry.com, the Billings Police Department released their annual report, and The official report is actually about 50 pages long. So these are bullet points that I've gleaned from a report that was sent over to ktvq.com, color8.com, and the Billings Gazette. Billings PD released its number and statistics on 2015. Calls for service up 3.7%. 9 criminal homicides, 1 negligent homicide, so 10 murders in Billings last year. Property crime was up 1.8%. Violent crime up 2.3%. A 20% increase on assaults on officers from 8 in 2014 to 10 in 2015. Accidents are up as well, 3.3%. According to the Billings Police Department, the annual report, 2.9% decrease in citations and warnings. And among the beats, the north central part of Billings saw the highest jump in calls for service with 13,058. It's exactly 1,500 calls higher than in 2014. The smallest amount of calls for service comes from the south side of Billings with 6,719. Number of vehicle thefts jumped considerably up with 160 more in 2015, totaling 792. And last year, Billings Police reports 469 violent crimes occurred, including 9 murders, up from 5 in 2014. People are still driving intoxicated with 643 DUIs. Actually, it was a total of 10 homicides, 1 negligent. Further numbers show there were 944 calls of attempted suicide, 24 shootings last year, 23 stabbings in and around Billings, and 5,126 warrants issued. And that's just a snapshot look at the annual report from the Billings Police Department's statistics from 2015. And the Billings Morning News at livinlargelarry.com. It seems everywhere you look, there's values, there's coupons for this, coupons for that. But if you want the true value, get Hometown Values. Get it? Well, it's mailed to your home. Thousands get the Hometown Values magazine, and it is the real size of a magazine. It's not the size of the palm of your hand. And look through it. Practical items, Hometown Values for each section of our area. Hometown Values, Billings and Laurel. It's probably on your counter right now, by the way, or your mailbox. Log on to myhometownvalues.com. All kinds of blinds in Billings. All kinds of blinds, mt.com. Quickie weather by the weekend. 50s for Saturday, 60s for Sunday, first day of spring, Sunday. This coming Sunday. 3 to 5 day look at the forecast. livinlargelarry.com for Billings, Montana. The Redline Computer Studios in West Billings.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I liked things to always be the same. Anything new or different would scare and upset me. I was very sensitive to lights and sounds. It was almost like I had bigger eyes and ears than everyone else. So I built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. I didn't like looking people in the eye. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'd throw big tantrums over little things like when my socks didn't match. Sometimes I'd do the same things over and over. Until one day, I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
I looked down at my hands and was like, wow, I'm performing CPR on this guy. And then I actually finally met him. That was probably one of the coolest parts of my life, being able to talk to a guy after I gave him CPR.
Reed was just 17 when he heard a cry for help. Thanks to his Red Cross training, he didn't freeze, he didn't panic, he knew exactly what to do. Red Cross training saves lives. Sign up for a class today at redcross.org.
Join us at 1-888-858-1408.
Our Billings area forecast, an expanded look. Log on to livinlargelarry.com. Click on the weather tab at the home page there when you log on. Meantime, on the show is brought to you in part by Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors. She'll listen to your needs. She'll provide a market analysis to you if you want to list and sell your home, including specialized consulting in current trends that are popular in colors and styles and modifications. Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors, MontanaProperty.com. Still in the 40s for the rest of the week, and then a nice turnaround for the weekend coming up. First day of spring is coming up on Sunday. For for Saturday. Downtown Billings St. Patty's Parade should be all right. Be sunny, 52 or so on Saturday, and mid-60s for Sunday coming up. Broughton Construction and Home Repair brings you our forecast on the show, livinlargelarry.com, offering 30 years of experience in concrete, remodeling, and roofing, siding, and more. It's Broughton Construction and Home Repair, Braaton. Search them out on Facebook. Don't forget this coming Saturday, Guadalajara Mexican Restaurant on Grand Avenue. That's the location for the Billings Wolves cheer team, the Billings She-Wolves fundraiser. They're putting on an old-fashioned pancake feed Saturday morning on Grand Avenue in Billings, fundraiser for the She-Wolves from 8 to 10 in the morning. And if you want to log on to Facebook, you can search them out. Just type in Billings She-Wolves, and you can get tickets in advance for that event coming up Saturday. Busy St. Patrick's weekend coming up in Billings, Montana.
Join us at 1-888-858-1408.
Our What's Going On Around Town segment from Bighorn Inspection, Petrochemical, and Refinery Inspection. Always supporting community events is Bighorn Inspection. Log on to the website, bighorninspection.com. The Mustache Dolls Junior Roller Derby, their bake sale and fundraiser is coming up on the 19th. This coming Saturday, March 19th. And you're invited to help them out at Lucky's Market on Grand Avenue, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the Mustache Dolls. The Billings Public Library is hosting free computer classes for older adults. Tech for Older Adults is the program, Facebook 101. That'll take place coming up on Friday the 18th, and also April 29th at 3:30 to 5 in the second floor computer classroom of the Billings Public Library downtown. You can call 657-8255 if you want to reserve your spot. Again, that first class is coming up this Friday, March 18th. And also through the Billings Public Library, they're hosting a retirement planning program for adults and older adults on the 1st of April. The program will be held in the Billings Public Library Community Room from 3:30 to 5. The presentation is free and open to the public. Contact the Billings Public Library, downtown Billings, for details. Again, our What's Going On segment is courtesy of Bighorn Inspection, bighorninspection.com. On March 19th, coming up Saturday, the Corrette Power Plant Site Design Meeting will be held in the First Congregational Church Fellowship Hall from 2 to 5 on Saturday. The goal is to create a community vision for the former Corrette Power Plant site. Your chance to give ideas on what should happen to that site. Those taking on the campaign want to have influence on what happens with the vacant sites. And Captain Chelsea Sully Sullenberger will be the guest speaker. The Chamber Breakfast coming up on Thursday, March 31st, 7 to 9 in the morning at Metro Park. Tickets are $450 for a table of 10 on the arena floor there with a breakfast buffet. Billings Chamber says tables are sold out, but you can be put on a waiting list. And to add your name to the mailing list, you can call the Billings Chamber at 245-4111. There's also stadium seating available right now for $30 a piece with a bagged breakfast. Again, the Chamber Breakfast, the annual event, Thursday, March 31st with Captain Chelsea Sully Sullenberger. Be visiting Billings, Montana. And the What's Happening segments from Bighorn Inspection, Petrochemical and Refinery Inspection, bighorninspection.com. Time for a haircut? Try Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in the Heights, if you want truly trained. I mean, these guys are trained barbers for straight razor shaves, or if you just want just a haircut, $10 for a basic haircut. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in the Heights, the best $10 haircut ever, and they don't take up a lot of time either. 10 minutes, $10. Great haircut. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in Billings Heights, and proud sponsors and supporters of the 2016 Billings Wolves. It's Jim and Austin's Barbershop. Another great experience, my wife and I, at N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, Suite number 4, over the weekend. We go probably twice a month on average, and you can actually enjoy and take advantage of what N2 Cryotherapy is all about twice a day. actually. N2cryo.com. If you've heard us talking about cryotherapy, what it's all about, log on to N2cryo.com for a brief history as to what cryotherapy is all about, and more importantly, what N2 cryotherapy here in Billings is all about. And Cindy Graff and her crew are very good at servicing athletes in forms of N2 cryotherapy. Again, 805 24th Street West, Suite number 4, N2cryo.com. Best Coupon Magazine, truly in and around Billings, with an issue for different areas around Billings. Coupons that fit where you live. Hometown Values Savings Magazine. If you check your mail from time to time, you'll see it. It's going to show up in your mailbox. Hometown Values Savings Magazine. Check out the new Heights edition. Also the newest Billings Laurel edition is out as well. Hometown Values with practical couponing in the magazine. Hometown Values. Another great experience, my wife and I at N2 Cryotherapy, 805 24th Street West, Suite number 4, over the weekend. We go probably twice a month on average.
Livin Large Larry Live.
If you had plans in Billings, Montana to run in the annual Shamrock Run for St. Patty's weekend, for St. Patrick's weekend in Billings, you can still do so. We had a nice talk with Chris Hernandez about the Shamrock Run coming up. It's not on Saturday, it's on Sunday in Billings, and all the details coming up here from the Redline Computer Studios in West Billings across from Goodwill. We are doing our show Livin Large Larry live at livinlargelarry.com on YouTube, and the TuneIn smartphone app for you for free. And the big Shamrock Run coming up this coming Sunday, and with us is Chris Hernandez, one of the coordinators and organizers with us. Shamrock Run, how many years for this, Chris, so far?
Oh, good grief. This Shamrock has been going on since the beginning of the club, so it's been 20-some-odd years.
All right, Yellowstone Rim Runners, the club we're talking about, and give us a little bit about the Yellowstone Rim Runners and what they're all about as well, if you could.
Well, we've got all kind of people that are members of the club. We've got some ex-runners and present runners that run for the colleges and coaches and just all-around people, all kinds of ages and all kind of speeds also.
Looking at the statistics from last year's Shamrock Run, I mean, it's a 5K. There were over 600 registered runners last year.
As of present, we have slightly over 400 people. And as usual, everybody usually waits till the last week to sign up. Just asking if the weather's going to be good, which we have already put a request in for excellent weather.
It looks really good, actually. I've had a couple of people with different organizations ask me that because the St. Patty's Parade downtown Billings is also this weekend, so the weather should be all right. I mean, we're all used to weird weather in Billings, Montana anyway. So give us the bullet points as to how people can still get registered for the Shamrock Run this coming Sunday.
Sure. Anybody can go to either rimrunnersorg.org or they can go to runsignup.com. If you go to rimrunners.org, you'll get all kind of information about the club and also this race. Just look up the Shamrock. And one more time, the run itself starts at 1, so you can go to online and sign up there, or you can do it in person at Timeout Sports on Saturday from 10:30 to 2:30.
All right, $25 an individual race fee, $35 for the family race fee. And talk a bit about the Kids 1 Mile Run for part of the Shamrock Run this year.
Sure. Right after the 5K, once everybody is in, we gather up all the kids, all the little ones, and they run around the park, around Pioneer Park, for approximately 1 mile. It's a great time for a family.
All right, so where should people meet on Sunday for the Shamrock Run?
Sure. Pioneer Park will be, if you go to just west of the tennis courts, you'll see big competitive timing balloons, and you'll see the big party there.
Shamrock Run coming up this Sunday, the 5K, and then, of course, the Kids 1 Mile Run. And Chris Hernandez, appreciate your time. And you log on to rimrunners.org for more details on that, correct?
Exactly.
Have a nice weekend, sir.
Thank you, Larry.
St. Patrick's Day. In Butte, Montana, not Billings, but Butte, Montana In a recent survey in some publication just the other day, it was said that Butte, Montana has more Irish spirit than any town in the USA. That's pretty cool. LivinLargeLarry.com. Live and Large Larry live from the Red Line Computer Studios in West Billings, Montana. All kinds of blinds and Billings. Quickie weather, all kinds of blinds, MT.com. A little bit blustery, maybe a mixture of some snow and rain off and on, and then it'll clear up and sunny. That's just how it's been all week long. 60s first day of spring Sunday, though. A quote from Brown's Automotive here in Billings. We promise you cost-effective solutions to get you back in the driver's seat. If you want true experience and dedication to the craft of auto repair, Brown's Automotive. For over 60 years now, Brown's Auto Service has delivered rockstar customer service. 4 locations around Billings. Brown's Auto Service on Broadwater, Brown's West Auto Service, corner of Rosebud and 20th Street. A couple of Brown's locations downtown, the Automatic Transmission Company is at 13th Street North and 1st Avenue North, and Brown's Rebuild Center is downtown, 18th Street North and 2nd Avenue North. Brown's Automotive in Billings, BrownsAutoBillings.com.
Livin' Large Larry live.
We broadcast out of the Red Line Computer Store on King Avenue West and 29th West Billings. And for the show, LiveandLargeLarry.com, we renamed Red Line Computers to the Red Line Computer Studios. So there you go. The Billings Morning News at LiveandLargeLarry.com. Though the Affordable Care Act was enacted in 2010, access to health care remains a challenge in many parts of the country. Montana ranks among 25 worst states for health care access, so says data from the Health Indicators Warehouse, the U.S. Census, and the Centers for Medicare and Medicare Services. Sparsely populated counties tend to have the lowest access to health care. Senator John Tester is looking for interns to join him in his D.C. office for the summer session. The internships start in May and goes through early August. The positions are unpaid and provide an introduction to a career in policy, press, or government affairs. On April 2nd at Fort Harrison in Helena, Colonel Peter Hronick will be promoted to Brigadier General. The former commander of the 120th Airlift Wing in Great Falls was approved by Congress for the promotion in 2013, but couldn't assume the rank until there was an available Brigadier General slots in the Air Force. And now there is. The debate over the future of the Colstrip power plant is heating up on Montana's political scene. Monday, Republican candidate for Governor Greg Gianforte called on Democratic incumbent Governor Steve Bullock to pressure Washington Governor Jay Inslee to veto a controversial Colstrip power bill. The governor has not yet signed Senate Bill 6248 and has until April 2nd to act on it. The State Labor Department says Montana's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate held steady at 4.1% in January. Labor Commissioner Pam Busey says payroll employment grew by 1,300 jobs in January, with most of the gains coming in retail, construction, and manufacturing jobs. A former Billings Clinic nurse has pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting a girl. The report says that Todd Kinzel was charged after 2 girls said he had touched them inappropriately. He told them was a comprehensive exam. A Gallatin County judge has denied a motion to dismiss a negligent homicide charge in the death of a Big Sky woman. District Judge John Brown says prosecutors had probable cause to charge David Hughes in the death of his girlfriend. Hughes' trial is scheduled to start next month. And a trial is underway in the case of a Ballantine man charged with shooting his son to death during an argument in July of last year. Attorneys for James Sindelar said the shooting was an accident. That trial being held at the Yellowstone County Courthouse in Billings. And a veteran and a Northwestern Energy crew were part of a rescue effort that helped bring a horse that got stuck in the mud in the Sun River to safety. The details say that veterinarian Kelly Manzer had responded to the scene near Great Falls on March 7th after receiving a call from one of her clients who had spotted the struggling horse. And that is the Billings Morning News. I'm Livin' Large Larry, LiveandLargeLarry.com. Keystone Mortgage has moved to a much larger location. Keystone Mortgage is our underwriter for our replay of the show, our podcast. Keystone Mortgage, purchase, refinance, investment properties, second home, anything dealing with mortgages. You aren't just a number, you're our number one priority. And that slogan fits. Keystone Mortgage Company, Keystone Mortgage, KeystoneHomeLoans.com. They are locally owned and operated, and you can search them out on Facebook. Just type in the keyword, the Keystone. Yeah, spring's essentially here. Good time of the year to be thinking about doing some remodeling projects. And your windows are the first thing that you probably notice when you walk into your home or business each day, right? And it's what your customers or what your visitors to your home see as well. Shop all kinds of blinds and window film in Billings, a truly local company that services the outlying areas, Shepherd, Roundup, Columbus, Red Lodge, Laurel, in and around Billings for blinds and window film. Check out some of the work at Cafe Rio or Godfather's Pizza, both taco treats in Billings. All kinds of blinds did work on the FedEx Kinko's in town, as well as Fred's Appliance on King Avenue West. All kinds of blinds and window film for security. All kinds of blinds, mt.com.
The following message is brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be with the high purpose to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach this problem of reemployment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Your stuff can be a resource for change. Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org.
Call or email your Livin Large Larry Live show ideas. Larry at livinlargelarry.com and 1-888-858-1408.
Quickie weather from all kinds of blinds, mt.com. A frozen mix. First off, sunshine, later on, St. Patrick's Day. And then for most of the weekend, nice 50s and 60s by Saturday and Sunday. Isn't that what we all live for anyway? Our talk with Cindy Graff from N2 Cryotherapy coming up in a second here, as well as for the MMA fights at Bighorn Resort coming up Saturday. Had a nice visit with 17-year-old 6-0 at MMA Mixed Martial Arts, Mikey Maniac Zindler. That's coming up too. Our Billings area forecast from Broughton Construction and Home Repair, truly local, born and raised here in South Central Montana, and the Broughton family's been around for a long time repairing homes and doing construction. Broughton Construction and Home Repair, Braton. Today, a day like yesterday, pretty much, kind of blustery, maybe a mixture of some rain and snow at times and windy conditions, and only in the 40s for the rest of the week. And the weekend changes up nicely. First weekend of spring. Spring officially hits actually on Sunday, 52 on Saturday, 64 on Sunday. So for the parade in downtown Billings, for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, the St. Patrick's Parade and Celtic Fair for families, downtown Billings on Saturday should be pretty nice. Our forecast from Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors, 1925 Grand Avenue at montanaproperty.com. Jade is trustworthy. You always put your clients' needs first, and she'll get you what you need. She'll pay attention to the details, too. Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors, montanaproperty.com.
This is a treat. We're inside N2 Cryotherapy. I mean, I've been here before. Cindy Graff always comes to my studio, but I'm visiting you today. And I've been here for a while, but I love your setup, 805 24th Street West.
Yes, thank you very much for coming on by today. You know, we're getting ready for the big fight this weekend.
The big MMA FightForce.com, and it's over at the Bighorn Resort. We were talking last week about the fact they were almost sold out. Are they sold out for this weekend?
They are sold out now. You can go online and maybe win a table, a VIP table from Beartooth Harley Davidson, so check that out on Facebook.
And you've gotten to know quite a few of the fighters, and one in particular. Talk about Mr. Zindler.
Yes, Mr. Mikey the Maniac. Yeah, Zindler has come in. He has a 6-0 records going for the title fight this weekend. He just posted online on Facebook saying he is ready and that his kill switch has been engaged.
Okay, so explain why Maniac came in here to N2 Cryotherapy in the first place, way before this fight.
Right, and I also have a boxer and another one. Brian Borst is an MMA fighter. We also have Eric Simonton, the boxer, that are going to be both on the card this weekend. They all come in for recovery. So when they're working out right now, especially getting ready for a fight, they're doing 2-a-days. They're working out once in the morning, once in the afternoon. So they're coming in the middle there to do a recovery so they can go ahead and get another workout in the afternoon that is just as good as the one in the morning.
So it sounds like it's part of their workout routine. And Maniac, I mean, he's a young kid.
He is 17 years old, and he is just killing them out there. He's, like I said, 6-0, and he has really been training hard and ready to go for this fight.
And local Billings kid, Mike is?
He is from here, and I met his mother, and they came in, and he enjoys this cryotherapy very much.
We hope to get Maniac here on the show in a little bit here, but talk about, Lucy, the date at Bighorn Resort is this Saturday then?
This Saturday it is, and the doors open at 6 for cocktails, and 7 o'clock we will begin the fights.
All right, March 19th, and it is sold out, but like Cindy alluded to, if you go onto the website, you may be able to get a part of a table or maybe get on a waiting list of some sort.
Yes, and like I said, Beartooth Harley is giving away a VIP table, so make sure you check that out. Look up Beartooth Harley Davidson on Facebook and go for that table.
All right, into cryotherapy, talk about memberships here.
Looks like our memberships are really picking up. It's one of the best ways for you to get the price to affordable price for you if you want to come in more than 10 times a month. If you've got a routine in fitness, or if you've got chronic pain and you know this is going to work for you, then you just set up for 3 or 4 times a week and come on in, and it's $2.99 a month.
Let's talk Billings Extreme Football, Daly Stadium.
Yes, we're getting involved with the Billings Extreme Football Outdoor Football League. It's going to be very exciting. They'll be playing over there at Dalis, Wendy Stadium at Dalis, and it's going to be just a lot of fun. We're going to get those football players are coming in. I already have one of them that's a member here, and he.
Is that Ken Blankenship?
Ken Blankenship is their coach, but Sean Sedaris is one of the major players, and he is a member here. So we really appreciate him, and the rest of them, we're excited to meet them and get them coming on in.
And you know Ken Blankenship, the head coach and Hall of Famer and football scout?
Yes. He came by. We had a great talk on Monday, and he's just very excited about this for his guys. He believes it will really pump them up. They're already the first seed, so let's wish them well and support them here.
And let's log on to n2cryo.com. Some website changes, all for the better.
Yes, we are. We're adding more videos. We've got our regular video that we had made here, so just very exciting for us today.
Okay, say the word that you learned how to say dealing with cryotherapy. Starts with an A.
Okay, we have folks that are coming in for ankylosing spondylitis, and that is a form of arthritis that has to do with your spine. And we talked with Jed before, and he has that, but he's brought in a couple more people that may have the same problem. I've also heard from a couple more people outside of Jed's circle that one daughter has it, and another gentleman has it. It hits people that are about 30 to 40 years old, so it's hitting them when they're very young, and we want to be able to get them back into action.
Learn more about that and more about cryotherapy at n2cryo.com and N2 Cryotherapy in Billings, 805 24th Street West, suite number 4. Thank you, Cindy Graff.
You bet, and we'll see you soon.
And as promised, Mikey Maniac Zindler with this part of the MMA Big Fights at Bighorn Resort this weekend. And Cindy Graff and I were talking with N2 Cryotherapy a while back about how old you are. You're only 17, right?
Yeah, I'm a 17-year-old.
What brought you into Cryotherapy way before this fight?
Before this fight, I heard about it because I did it in Brazil when I was down there, and it really helped out. So I came here and I wanted to do it here and try it out, and it was amazing.
What are some of your aches and pains that cryotherapy helps you out with?
Everything. When you train as much as I do, I literally live in the gym. I'm there more than anybody else. I'm there 12 hours a day usually, and everything just hurts. And it's sore.
So at 17, is Maniac like a veteran at MMA already? You seem so young.
Yeah, I'm really young for my age, and I'm 6-0, and I'm beating like everybody I can. I got to go down to Brazil and do World Tournament this year, and that was amazing. Hopefully I get to go to Germany next year.
Oh, that's cool. You're having a great ride. Mikey Maniac Zindler. Great name, by the way. And looking forward to the big fight, MMA at Bighorn Resort. And what are you looking forward to this coming Saturday night? What are you looking at?
I'm I'm looking forward to getting my belt, knocking this guy out as quick as possible, and if I can't, I'll sub him in less than a minute. I usually finish my fights in the first round. That's exactly how this is going to go.
And who do you chalk up your training and expertise to in MMA?
Will Grunthauser completely. Me and him spent all of our time together at the gym, and he's taught me most everything I know. Other than that, Dave Bluba, our head striking coach, and then John Coulter, they've helped me along the way to become who I am now.
And how do they feel about you getting an alternative treatment as part of your routine for workout and doing cryotherapy?
They absolutely love it.
Have they tried it?
Yeah, I believe Will has tried it. He likes it a lot.
Yeah, I use it myself. My wife uses it, and I think you have to try cryotherapy to really believe in it.
Yeah, it's a great service. My buddy Brian, he's the 125 holder. He'll fight for a title this weekend too. He uses it a lot as well.
All right, Mike, Maniac Zindler, MMA, Bighorn Resort, Saturday night, 7 p.m. Doors are at 6. We'll see you then.
Os.
Join us at 1-888-858-1408.
So March Madness begins through the weekend, through next weekend. I'm a Kansas Jayhawk fan, so I'm looking ahead to see if the Kansas Jayhawks can win the title. March Madness. Who you rooting for? LivinLargeLarry.com for YouTube, and also the TuneIn mobile app for the show on your smartphones. Free download for you from the Redline Computer Studios in West Billings, Montana. All kinds of blinds and Billings. All kinds of blinds. MT.com. Quickie weather. Like a frozen mix, some rain, some snow mixed together, and a few bouts of like sleet, like on Wednesday, and some sunshine. By the weekend, 50s and 60s. The Billings Morning News at livinlargelarry.com. The National Alliance on Mental Illness Billings is hosting a community rummage and bake sale at McKinley School on Saturday, April 9th, a couple of weeks away from 8 to 8. All the proceeds will benefit NAMI Billings, which provides free education support and advocacy to those suffering from mental illness and their families. Billings firefighter Cameron McCamley has been named the American Legion Firefighter of the Year for 2015. Congratulations. Now he'll be considered at the national level during the national convention later this year in Cincinnati, Ohio. The first of several meetings of state leaders, including a traffic safety executive leadership team, met in Helena. They started to tackle what's being called a crisis on Montana highways. It comes at a time when low prices, longer days, and good weather mean more people are on the road, which means more opportunities for crashes. The death toll rose to 22 in February, and in the days of March, the toll rose another 13, the first 13 days of March. Monday, the Billings City Council voted to extend a contract with the Ament Park Development Council for a year. It has been managing soccer at the city-owned complex for the last 2 decades. There's been some challenges. Along the way. Have renegotiated, and we'll move forward with that. Our Billings area forecast from Broughton Construction and Home Repair, truly local, born and raised here in South Central Montana, and the Broughton family's been around for a long time repairing homes and doing construction. Broughton Construction and Home Repair, Braaton. Today, a day like yesterday, pretty much. Kind of blustery, maybe a mixture of some rain and snow at times, and windy conditions, and only in the 40s for the rest of the week. And the weekend changes up nicely. First weekend of spring. Spring officially hits actually on Sunday. 52 on Saturday, 64 on Sunday. So for the parade in downtown Billings, for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, St. Patrick's Parade and Celtic Fair for families, downtown Billings on Saturday should be pretty nice. Our forecast from Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors, 1925 Grand Avenue at montanaproperty.com. Jade is trustworthy. You always put your clients' needs first, and she'll get you what you need. She'll pay attention to the details, too. Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors, montanaproperty.com. A talk with Natasha Lindsay from Downtown Billings Alliance here on the show from the Redline Computer Studios in West Billings, Montana. All about St. Patrick's weekend, the parade, Celtic Fair, stuff for kids to do in downtown Billings, Montana this coming Saturday. That's on the way. LivinLargeLarry.com. We're on YouTube. It seems everywhere you look there's values, there's coupons for this, coupons for that. But if you want the true value, get Hometown Values. Get it? Well, it's mailed to your home. Thousands get the Hometown Values magazine, and it is the real size of a magazine. It's not the size of the palm of your hand. And look through it. Practical items, Hometown Values for each section of our area. Hometown Values, Billings and Laurel. It's probably on your counter right now, by the way. or your mailbox. Log on to myhometownvalues.com. Had the Quick Spa ladies in late last week, talking of all they do at Quick Spa. Truly that's, and it's full service salon and spa, colon hydrotherapy, spray tans that time of year, permanent makeup, if you're thinking about that. Carrie has the best massages in town, deep tissue, hot stone, body wraps, and Jamie Sue, a natural artist on your nails, gel polish, paraffin wax, nail art, all at Quick Spa, 2348 Grand Avenue, quick-spa.com. Check them out online. You can order the works, the shave, and the cut at Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in the Heights. Trained barbers, $10 haircuts. And that price hasn't changed for years, and it doesn't look likely that it will. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, $10, 10-minute haircut, in and out. You can do it over your lunch hour. Jim and Austin's Barbershop, 2225 Main in Billings Heights. Sponsors of the Billings Wolves for 2016.
Call or email your Livin Large Larry Live show ideas. Larry at livinlargelarry.com and 1-888-858-1408.
Natasha is with us and the Downtown Billings Alliance. This is a very exciting week with the St. Patrick's Day on Thursday. But really in Billings and all over Montana, but in particular Billings, St. Patrick's Day actually runs through the weekend. Natasha, you got a busy weekend coming up.
That's right, Larry. We're looking forward to some exciting St. Patrick's Day parade and Celtic Fair celebration and events going on Saturday.
So just so there's no confusion, there's certain times that each of those events start. And it's a great big family event, but the parade starts at a different time than the Celtic Fair. If you can kind of enlighten us on that, that'd be cool.
Absolutely. We're inviting the community to come and join us starting at 10 a.m. is when the Celtic Fair kicks off, and that's downtown under Sky Point at 2nd Avenue and Broadway and in the streets in Broadway in front of Montana Brewing Company, Hooligan Sports Bar. So that's at 10 a.m. We'll have Irish dancing and street vendors and food trucks and things like that. And then if you want to hang out, the parade begins in that area as well at 11 a.m.
So for those that are in the parade, like KGHL Radio will be in the parade, what time is a safe time to head down there and get all set up?
For people that are in the parade, they have specific arrival times and instructions they've received, but they will be lining up between 10 and 11 on 3rd Avenue.
I'm always intrigued about how many floats or vehicles you have in the parade or groups this year. How many do you have?
You know, we are looking at a pretty big parade. It should be a little over an hour long. We probably have about 80 floats.
Oh, not bad. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more. So, because a lot of the entries have multiple vehicles, so it might even be closer to 100 when you add up all the extra, cars and dogs that people are walking and all of that.
Well, there's going to be a lot of green, and for some reason this week in talking to other organizations about their events coming up, everybody asks me, I hope the weather cooperates. Well, as of right now, weekend weather for Billings and surrounding communities actually looks pretty nice leading into spring. So
I'm glad to hear you say that. That's what I recently saw as well. I've seen the forecast for sunshine, so I've got my fingers crossed, and we'll just hope for the best there.
Okay, and now after the parade, what happens in downtown Billings?
I'm glad you asked, because as the parade is ending, we will have more Irish dancing under Sky Point where our family entertainment takes place. And then the Celtic Fair continues in the streets until 2 p.m. And then beyond that, Hooligan Sports Bar is sponsoring just celebration in the street there in that same area on Broadway, and they will have live entertainment. Downtime is their band will be playing on a stage on Broadway and 1st Avenue, and their street fair or their street celebration will be going on until about 6 p.m. on Saturday evening out in the streets. So.
I got to tell you, they say that some people say that Butte has the biggest St. Patty's Day celebration, but I think Billings is a close second.
I think we could rival. We've got a lot of Irish here. We've got a lot of people ready to celebrate, this holiday, and it's usually a really, really packed and a really good time. And if you don't want to be in the crowds outside, you can find a table inside, and there's all kinds of things for the families and everyone. everyone to come down and get involved.
Hey, is the Little Leprechaun contest back this year?
Oh, we are having the Little Leprechauns back again this year. We've got classrooms from SD2, first and second grade, signed up to march in the parade as the cutest little leprechauns. And the teachers will be bringing their classrooms out and getting cash prizes for their classrooms for school supplies.
It's going to be fun. That'll be a great weekend of St. Patty's activities downtown Billings. Natasha, as always, a pleasure to talk with you. Say hi to my good friends Lisa and the whole crew down there downtown Billings.
Absolutely. We'll see you on Saturday.
And downtownbillings.com, correct?
That is right. Downtownbillings.com, and I just want to give a special shout-out and thank Pug Mahomes for sponsoring the Little Leprechaun contest.
Perfect. Natasha, we'll see you this weekend.
All right. Thanks, Larry.
Natasha from downtown Billings talking all about the Irish St. Patrick's Day. And then this weekend it doesn't end. It's green through the weekend. St. Patrick's Day, downtown Billings with the Celtic Fair. The parade starts at 11 o'clock, and fun for the whole family. From the Redline Computer Studios, this is livinlargelarry.com on YouTube. Tune in mobile phone app for your smartphone. That's free for you. Glad you're with us. There has been an IRS data breach, and Lisa Woods of Woods Accounting will explain all of that to you, as well as over 50 new laws that are just out for the 2016 tax season at Woods Accounting. 1211 Grand Avenue, Suite number 4. Filing dates. Do you know what is due when? Tax returns and payroll taxes, estimated taxes. Lisa Woods of Woods Accounting. She does all of that and more. WoodsAccounting.com.
Livin' Large Larry Live.
Our Billings area forecast from Broughton Construction and Home Repair, truly local, born and raised here in south central Montana. And the Broughton family's been around for a long time repairing homes and doing construction. Broughton Construction and Home Repair, Braton. Today, a day like yesterday, pretty much. Kind of blustery, maybe a mixture of some rain and snow at times and windy conditions, and only in the 40s for the rest of the week. And the weekend changes up nicely. First weekend of spring. Spring officially hits actually on Sunday. 52 on Saturday, 64 on Sunday. So for the parade in downtown Billings, for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, the St. Patrick's Parade and Celtic Fair for families, downtown Billings on Saturday should be pretty nice. Our forecast from Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors, 1925 Grand Avenue at MontanaProperty.com. Jade is trustworthy. You always put your clients' needs first, and she'll get you what you need. She'll pay attention to the details, too. Jade Furman of Landmark Realtors, MontanaProperty.com. So it'll be a rather cool St. Patrick's Day. It is remodeling time in your home or your office, and the windows are the most aesthetically pleasing area people look. The most important part of your home are your windows and your window treatments. All kinds of blinds and Billings, all kinds of blindsmt.com with cellular blinds. The woven woods are available. Mini blinds of all sizes and styles and models. Talk to Bobby Gray at All Kinds of Blinds and ask about their security window film as well. All kinds of blinds and Billings. All kinds of blindsmt.com.
Livin' Large Larry Live from the Redline Computer Studios next to the Dollar Tree off of King Avenue West in Billings, Montana. This is Livin' Large Larry Live.
And the Billings Morning News at livinlargelarry.com. The second day of trial for the Ballantine man accused of fatally shooting his son last year got underway Tuesday morning. James Sindelar, 74, charged with deliberate homicide for the death of his son back in July of 2015. Dr. Norman Therish, a forensics pathologist, was called to testify for most of the afternoon on Tuesday. Therish conducted the autopsy on Wesley Sindelar, 35, in Missoula. Therish testified that during the autopsy he noted several injuries: a gunshot wound to the head, a cut on his thumb, and abrasions on his hand. And Dr. Therish said the gunshot wound to the face was the cause of death. As we glean stories from KTVQ.com, Color8.com, and the Billings Gazette from time to time for some of the stories on the Billings Morning News. The Billings father who admitted he did nothing to intervene in his girlfriend's deadly assault on their child was sentenced Tuesday. Jeffrey Fox was sentenced in Yellowstone County District Court by Judge Michael Moses to 18 years in prison. His credit for 538 days served. None of the time was suspended. Fox pleaded guilty in August of 2014 to negligent homicide for the death of his 3-month-old daughter, Rosanna. The child was neglected and abused to death by her mother, 25-year-old Amanda Steffen, and Fox admitted he did nothing to stop Steffen during the beating. Dallas Savy became a 4-time Iditarod champion Tuesday, pulling into Nome, Alaska in record-breaking time to cheering crowds lining the streets in Nome. His dad, Mitch Savy, came in second place in the 44th Iditarod Trail sled dog race, but still beat his son's old 2014 record by almost an hour. According to the report released by the Alaska Dispatch News, Dallas Savy is 28, finished this year's race about 1,000 miles in 8 days, 11 hours, 20 minutes, and 16 seconds, breaking his previous record by nearly 2 hours. And that is the Billings Morning News and more at livinlargelarry.com.